Hi there. How are you? I have a question for you. What do you think about Mary Lou Lord? Is she the lucky Boston subway busker who happened to hook up with Kurt Cobain on the eve of Nirvana's rise to world domination? And then later serendipitously befriend Elliott Smith and help him secure a lucrative record deal with Kill Rock Stars? Or is she a former fangirl, Cobain stalker, and shameless name dropper, playing up her connections, real and supposed, to secure her own legacy, no matter if it's but a footnote in indie rock history? What do you think? Do you take a side in all this? Is it eh? Or bleh? Or meh? For me, honestly, I really don't care. That kind of stuff doesn't really matter to me so much. But anyway, I ask you because today I'm talking about Mary Lou Lord's self-titled EP from 1995. On this channel, I've been doing a series on albums that came out in 1995 that are now turning 30 years old, and this one is today's selection. I think it's a little naive and inescapable to deny that Kurt Cobain did not have an influence on Mary Lou Lord when talking about this album. His thread kind of runs through this for the most part. At least half of the songs, I would say, have some connection to Kurt Cobain. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm talking about today, so let's get into it. While it has been widely acknowledged that the song The Bridge on this EP, that's track number 5, is about mourning the loss of friendship and or what might have been with Cobain, I think that this whole EP is pretty much a love letter or love and loss letter, an embrace of Kurt Cobain's impact and influence on Mary Lou Lord's life, whatever the actual details may be. So allow me to explain, but first a little background. So this 1995 EP on Kill Rock Stars follows her 7-inch single. Her first release on Kill Rock Stars was Some Jingle Jangle Morning, When I'm Straight. And that's actually a really great song. But that was a 7-inch vinyl single. And she also had a song, Camden Town Rain, on the Stars Kill Rock compilation from 1993. So Mary Lou Lord was dating Kill Rock Stars founder Slim Moon at this time, and you can see his picture there on her Maxi Mouse amp on the front cover. Yeah, that's the amp that she used while busking in the subways in Boston and other places. And we might as well check out the cover here. Mary Lou Lord looking pretty Pacific Northwest indie rock. On the back, just a simple like background of stars and maybe a family photo. I'm not really sure. I assume that's her and maybe her brother or something. And inside, thanks to all the people on the streets and subways everywhere who have been so supportive and kind to me for so long. You know who you are, and I love you. God bless Maxi Mouse amps and Martin guitars. And got some wacky little photos there, looking pretty grunge. And inside, here are the liner notes. There's a wide variety of music on this EP. Mary Lou Lord only has 3 original songs, and all the rest are covers. So that's kind of interesting. And all of the songs are acoustic. It's just her and a guitar, except for the first song, which is a full band. And the other thing that I find strange is that the full band is not credited on the back of this album. It just says lights are changing, and then an asterisk, recorded with band. All other songs acoustic. So I assume this is because they didn't have a name for the band. But this song is actually a cover by the Bevis Frond. And the Bevis Frond is a band from England. What's his name? Nick Solomon, who's actually not even credited on here. She doesn't even thank him. But I guess by covering a song, that's enough thanks. But yeah, Nick Solomon, he's a Salamander? Anyway, he plays 12-string guitar on this same song on her 1998 record, Got No Shadow. So she kind of recycled a lot of these songs on her major label debut, helped out by a lot of musicians, and he was one of them. So I don't think this song has much connection to Kurt Cobain, other than the theme of loss. Just lyrics about, disappearing like a silver bullet from a gun. I like how Wally Gaggle plays tambourine on this song, the legendary producer and audio engineer Wally Gaggle. I really like this group of musicians, actually, like Brian Dunton, the bassist he was actually the bassist in the band Helium, which was founded by Mary Lou Lord. But back then it was called Chupa. Backing vocals by Juliana Hatfield. That's pretty awesome. Juliana Hatfield's brother Jason was also in Helium. The vocal melody of this song kind of reminds me of the song Return to Sender by Mojave 3. If you've ever heard Mojave 3, after Slowdive broke up. That's a really beautiful song. But anyway, the way the vocal melody goes is quite similar. I'll have to ask Jasmine about that one. Also, I like the fact that it's credited as vocals and air guitar Mary Lou Lord. All right, track number 2, Helsinki. This is a weird song. The vocals on this song are really weird, and I'm not really sure, is it because they're double-tracked sometimes, or I feel like her voice doesn't really fit the guitar. It's almost kind of like out of tune sometimes. I mean, like her voice is like off, kind of. Mary Lou Lord is not that good of a singer. I don't really like her voice that much. Like, it does the job, but I'm not really going to say she's one of my favorite vocalists by any means.
Things in life I know. Things in life I want to show you.
This whole song is really strange. And lyrically, there are a lot of references to Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, I feel like. Like, she says, sitting at the bar, wondering where you are. Maybe you're in Spain. Maybe you're in Maine, on a plane. Of course, on a plane. Direct reference to the Nirvana song. And then she's got this kind of pun, like, Helsinki's around your corner, but I'm just going through hell. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a little too... There's too many puns in this song for me. On a plane and Helsinki hell, and then she's haunted by the memory of your face. I don't have a lot of information on when these songs were recorded, but it seems like this might have been written after Kurt's suicide. I mean, this album came out in 1995, but yeah, I'm not sure like exactly when these were written. And then the other reference is the part where she says, and hello, 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 hello to tomorrow. And that's, the melody of the song is so weird. And when she goes like really far down, like she says, really creepy in the first verse. And then this one too, the
To tomorrow.
unsettling. I wonder if it's supposed to be, or she's just got that really weird delivery. I don't really know. I'm not really a big fan of this song, but I'm kind of fascinated by it at the same time. Also, the line, the fax machine is out of order, is so 90s. Yeah, I'm not such a fan of Mary Lou Lord's voice. Like, the higher notes, where she gets all breathy, it just sounds kind of weak. Like, I'm not really a fan of those, like, higher-pitched girl voices. Well, higher-pitched voices in general, doesn't have to be a girl. But when she gets all breathy and, like, she tries to do kind of a falsetto, I don't really like it. And also, I feel like she tries to do the, like, the melisma, you know, where, like the fancy pants singers like Mariah Carey or Christina Aguilera or whoever can do that now. You know, they do that melisma thing with their voice. She tries to do that, and I feel like it's kind of like she's trying to show off, but she's not that good of a singer. Like, her voice is not equipped to do that kind of thing, really. I'm not trying to rip on Mary Lou Lord or anything, but I just feel like she, like, kind of over-sings a lot of the time, and I wish she'd keep it more simple, more straightforward. And actually, let's go into track 3, That Kind of Girl. A beautiful song. That song, actually, she keeps it really simple. This is a cover by Matt Keating. Matt Keating, a singer-songwriter from her native Boston. And actually, this song is interesting because the original song, Matt Keating's version, is it has a lot of instruments, and it's still pretty much similar, like it's a ballad. But he kind of over-sings, I feel like. He has this really emotional kind of delivery that I don't really like so much. And also it has kind of like a weird country twang to it. But I like Mary Lou Lord's version. It's very, very simple. It's very stark. And I think it works really well with just an acoustic guitar. It's really spare. And it hits harder than the original. And the original was on, let's see, Matt Keating's 1996 record, Candy Valentine. I think that was an EP, actually. Oh yeah, and this song also makes fun of the Smashing Pumpkins, which Pavement already did in the same year on the song Range Life. So there were 2 songs that came out in 1995 that both ripped on the Smashing Pumpkins. And going back to what I said about her with doing that melisma thing with her voice, there's toward the end of this song, she sings about victimize, what is it? And she can play the victim and she can victimize. And when she says that, she does the melisma thing.
Can play the victim, and she can victimize.
All right, track 4, He'd Be a Diamond. This is another cover. This is a cover, again, of the Bevis Frond. So track 1 and track 4 are both covers of the Bevis Frond. He'd Be a Diamond. Yeah, it's a gem of a song from the Bevis Frond's 1991 album New River Head. I actually like this version more than I like the Bevis Frond's version. Their version is good. I mean, it's just a nice, straight up kind of indie rock song. But yeah, I like this to be stripped down in the acoustic manner in which she does it. I think it works. Yeah, it kind of suits the material somehow. And then I like the lyrics about beer and dope. Is he running low on affection and beer and dope? And an ironing board and an unpaid analyst who shags. What? Yeah, sure. And then when you blow your nose, it still gets blocked up and runs. And though you feel like shit, he says you look beautiful. And swears by all the saints that if he had his chance again, he'd be a diamond. Yeah, I like these kind of, slightly poetic, kind of melancholy lyrics. I don't know if the blowing your nose and it gets blocked up again is like a reference to drugs. The Bevis Frond is such an interesting band. Like they always have this kind of like 60s jangle pop sound with like kind of punk, like some kind of punk injected into it, especially lyrically. Yeah, I like both versions of this song, but I just lean a little more toward Mary Lou Lord's version because it just sounds cool as an acoustic kind of stripped down song. And then track number 5, The Bridge. This is undeniably an overt reference to Kurt Cobain. It has been widely acknowledged that she wrote this song directly about the what might have been relationship or friendship that just started to blossom. An overt document to know Kurt Cobain in 1991, all other conjecture aside. After all, this is from Miss Lord's perspective. It's a story well told. This song also has pretty good lyrics. It's a nice little story, but I feel like the chorus is kind of cheesy. I don't know how I feel about like the "Don't Burn the Bridge" refrain. I never really like that kind of cliche in songs, unless it's built up more like when I was talking about Elliott Smith. He can take things and kind of make more of a metaphor out of it. But this one, the chorus is pretty cheesy for me. It's kind of schmaltzy, it's kind of sentimental. Even though I like the verses, I think it's a pretty good song. I gotta be honest, I actually like Mary Lou Lord's covers better than I like her original music for the most part. I think Some Jingle Jangle Morning is a great song, but other than that, I'm not that big of a fan of her original songs. And I still wonder about the lyrics where she says, the god strapped to your wrist. I assume she means a watch, but, could it also be something darker? Track number 6, I'm Talking to You. This is a Jimmy Bruno song. If you look up Jimmy Bruno, you should look up Jim Bruno. Don't look up Jimmy Bruno because I was like, who's Jimmy Bruno? And then I was like, he's a jazz guitarist and he's really old? No, that's not the writer of this song. Jim Bruno is actually from California and he's a songwriter. He's been around for a long time. This song was covered by Sean Colvin way back in 1982. It was kind of a folk song. Mary Lou Lord's version is basically identical. If you listen to the Sean Colvin version, pretty much the same, just production-wise, it's a little different. But yeah, this is a cool song. It's not that memorable, I guess. It's just kind of a standard. It sounds really 90s to me, but I guess it's 80s. It's kind of sappy. It's kind of ballady, but it's all right. All right, and then the next song, His Indie World. Now, this song was written by Mary Lou Lord, and I can never really decide, what this song is trying to say. It kind of confuses me. This song is basically a send-up of the indie rock hipster snob, which is fine. And there's a lot of great bands actually referenced in this song that I like. But I also like Neil, Bob, Nick, and Joni, and was there another one? Anyway, I also like the standard singer-songwriters that she references too. But yeah, I'm not really sure if this song is actually making fun of indie rock hipsters, or it's because she's in the indie rock world. I mean, she was very much in that world, and some of her friends are in these bands that she's mentioning, so I don't really know. Maybe she's not really ripping on the bands. She's just ripping on those like pretentious bastards who, I don't know, can't appreciate Bob Dylan because they're too busy listening to Built to Spill or what have you. Beat Happening. Yeah. And also as a side note, what's kind of weird too is like in the liner notes, the publisher of this one is different than her other ones. Her other ones are published by Deep Music, and this one is Careers BMG Music Publishing. BMI. I don't know why. Why is that? Is that some kind of weird joke too? I don't know. Is she trying to go mainstream? Well, her next record, there's some EPs in between, but her next record would be The Got No Shadow on a Sony subsidiary called Work that was released in 1998. So I don't know, maybe she was aiming for the big time all along. And then the very final song, Speeding Motorcycle. You gotta love Daniel Johnston. Yeah. This cover would make Kurt Cobain proud, I think. It's a great little song. Yeah, this one will actually get stuck in your head for all its simplicity. Daniel Johnston is such a genius, was such a genius of these incredibly simple little slices of kind of surreal imagery. This is all about a boy who loves his bike, man. And, they're inseparable. And I just love it. It's so perfectly simple. Yeah, Mary Lou Lord does it justice for sure. All right, that's all I've got about this album. Let me know in the comments what you think about Mary Lou Lord. I think she's pretty okay as a singer-songwriter. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but I do like this EP. I listen to it every once in a while, and I just did a video on Elliott Smith. Jasmine and I did a video on Elliott Smith's Waltz No. 2 EXO, and then I made that video on his solo record, and then I wanted to talk about Mary Lou Lord a little bit because, of course, she was the one that helped him, get onto Kill Rock Stars back in the day. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again.